My name is Drew Waldron, and I am on now with entrepreneur, philanthropist, music mogul, producer, and entertainer, Percy Miller, aka Master P. Percy, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How you doing?
I am fantastic. I'm really excited to sit down with you and just have a conversation about your career. Leading into my first question, how do you introduce yourself and your career?
Well, I introduce myself as Percy Miller, Master P. I want people to know me as the businessman. I want people to know that my music career put me in the game, but I was able to evolve and create 8 different revenue streams. Like, I don't want people just to know me as a music person. I changed my life. I put God first. I'm a person that's not perfect, but I know that if you're not afraid to change and grow, that you can be successful and God will continue blessing you. And so my most important job is to be a servant. And I realized that because we can't take nothing with us. So all these material things, anything that we have, we can't take nothing with us. It's whatever you have on this planet, it would be here when you're not here. So it's all about leaving an imprint.
Absolutely. And once you were a well-known artist, your business career was built on the fact that you were one of the first artists to take advantage of the retail potential of the music industry. Now, what do you think sent you on that path once you became known for your music?
Yeah, for me, I started as a 19-year-old kid on my own record store. So people don't realize No Limit Records was a retail record store in Richmond, California. And so I got to know the business, the ins and outs, the marketing, being able to touch the customer, knowing what a customer wants. So I've always used the music business, not just being an artist. So being able to know the value of a customer, know what a customer is looking for, the customer want more for their money. I was a person on the marketing side, knowing that a lot of these albums was dark. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna lighten this up. I'm gonna put the loud colors on the packaging. So when a customer walk in the store, plus I'm gonna give them more for their money. Back then in my time, most artists was giving like 8 or 10 songs. I was making 20, 21 songs on a record and giving it to them for the same cost that they've been paying for music.
It seems like you have the customer in mind for everything within P. Miller Enterprises, which, by the way, quickly became a financial powerhouse. You were dealing with everything from real estate to mass media to even energy drinks. What do you think are some of the secrets to your success, especially when you were starting out so young?
Yeah, for me, it was diversifying my portfolio because of, a lot of people, they always tell you, think one thing, think one way. No, be great at one thing, but also diversify your portfolio. So I always thought that I needed other things in case when a rainy day come, I have something else that I could take from and keep going. So my motto is the more we make, the more we give. But if you don't have nothing, then you don't have nothing to give. And so you got to realize that you are going to fail. People think that it's going to be, look at my success and say, oh yeah, well, Master P created this empire. When you look at P. Miller Enterprises, you're thinking, wow, everything has been great. No, I failed in so many things. I had to fall with my hands down, get back up, get to running, don't quit, don't stop, keep going. My whole mission in life is to be obsessed with what you believe in. The only way you're going to be successful, you have to be obsessed with not quitting. You have to be obsessed knowing that this is your vision. You're going to make it. All you have to do is keep going. Consistency. And so those was the keys to my success, saying that, you know what, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop. Yeah, it's going to get tough. It's going to be times where you want to give up and you want to stop, but that's when that got to kick in. That mindset have to kick in and say, you know what, let me keep going. Let me keep running. It's almost like running a marathon. You don't know how much longer you got to get there, but you're like, oh, if I keep going, I'm going to get across the finish line. So that was my whole life is built on, not quitting. That's what the brand is about, No Limit. That's what P. Miller Enterprise is about. Everything around is not just one thing. So I tell people all the time, product outweighs talent. You can't make music forever. You can't play basketball forever. You can't play football or baseball, but you can create products that can build generational wealth. And I know some people, they could get older and still do some shows and stuff like that, but you're not going to be able to keep up with every generation in the music genre like how you used to be. I don't care whether you're the biggest star in the world. So you got to start thinking, diversifying your portfolio and saying, you know what, I need other revenue streams to be able to keep going. And so, I mean, that's what my life has been based on. And it worked for me because a lot of people, they get caught up into that mindset saying, I only have to be good at one thing. That's not true. I'm just telling any entrepreneur, anybody that's successful out there, why you think people look for for investments. They create investments. They know that if I'm successful over here, the only way I'm going to stay at the top of the mountain, I have to invest in other things. And so people think that money is just sit around and hold it in your hand. Oh, I got this amount of money. No, you want to keep investing and keep growing that money.
Absolutely. And as you diversify your portfolio and you keep that marathon mindset that you were talking about,
Yes.
what do you think is the biggest challenge that you've dealt with while managing all these very different ventures? Because, like you said, you can't just be good at one thing, you have to be good at multiple things and diversify your interests. But what is one of the biggest challenges you've dealt with all these different ventures that are completely managed differently, handled differently? What has your experience been like?
Well, the non-believers. If you look
Mm.
at it, people are not going to believe in you. So you have to believe in yourself. I think that's the most important challenge in life. Look in that mirror and say, I believe in me. No matter if somebody don't see my vision or they think, oh, well, you're doing too much or you got too much going on. No, I'm going to be great in this, but also it's room to grow in everything. Everything that you do is room to grow in. Education is the most important key. We got to constantly keep learning. Some people think they made it and think that they don't have to keep educating themselves. Technology is changing every day. So you got to keep up with the times. I think a lot of people get comfortable. The biggest challenge is let that uncomfortableness drive you to your destination. But love the journey. Don't do nothing for money. Like I've never done anything for money because people come to you and say, oh yeah, we're going to make $10 billion. What if you don't make it? That's the challenge. What if you don't make it? So you can't be in it for the money. You have to be in it because of the idea. Wealthy people, they create ideas. And what people have to realize, those ideas are going to get you to where you need to go at. So I don't work for money. And I think a lot of people get caught up into that with everything. They put a price on something. Stop putting a price on where you're trying to go at or what you're going to make with your business. No, do it because you love it. And the hardest part is getting other people to believe and see those dreams and see your passion and see what you love, to see your vision, because everybody's not going to see it. And so I'm saying don't give up just because somebody else don't see the end goal, because that's your vision.
Absolutely. Very well said. I really like what you said about the danger of becoming too comfortable because
Yes.
you think about someone who became comfortable a year ago. 2023 brought the biggest AI boom that we've ever seen, one of the biggest technological leaps that we've seen in our lifetime. And someone who got comfortable a year ago and stopped educating themselves a year ago is now not reaping any of those benefits. So I totally understand what you're saying. As for your entrepreneurial spirit, I'd love to ask, did you have any role models or any entrepreneurs that you looked up to as you were building your empire?
Yeah, I looked up to people like Reginald Lewis. This was probably one of the first Black guys to create $1 billion in a grocery store lane. I have Snoop cereal, which we created a massive brand, me and Snoop. And when people didn't believe, it's all about adding diversity into the grocery store shelves. I look up to Muhammad Ali. I look up to, successful people that came from the struggle, that didn't have nothing and actually made it. I look up to Mark Cuban. I mean, this guy had nothing one day, then he created his wealth through the internet and through, just being the first, being there when nobody else believed in something. So I love those people with big vision that a lot of people can't see it. It's just so many of them out there. I could go on and on and on. So, but these are the people that stick out to me that I could say, like, I actually just watched the way they built this wealth from nothing and still a part of giving back, helping other people and creating other millionaires and billionaires. So those are the type of people that I like to just like say, these are real people that been through a lot of the stuff that I've been through, where people didn't believe in them, people thought they was crazy, people didn't see the big picture, and then all of a sudden, bam. And also those people feel too at the same time. It wasn't just given to them. A lot of things that they done didn't work, and people doubted them. So my thing is to the people that have big dreams and big goals, don't give up. Look at other people's lives, dissect their lives, and say, you know what? I want to do some of the things they did. How was they able to overcome adversity? How was they able to make it past the things that they was able to make it past? Because it's going to be roadblocks. I look at all the roadblocks that people was able to jump over, and I use that same tactic when I get up in the morning. As long as I'm consistently doing something every day to get to my dreams and my goals, I know that if I'm obsessed and I love what I'm doing and I'm passionate, and that obsession is going to get me to the end goal, which is going to be success or winning. I tell people all the time, there's no losses over here. Everything is a lesson. So keep getting better. Keep educating yourself. Keep running, keep going, keep doing something every day. Consistency is going to get you there the same way it got the other people that I talked about to where they wanted to go at, and now they're able to help other people. And so that's what it's about for me. I want to be able to be a servant. I want to be able to help other people, but I also want to use other people's journey to look at my journey and say, what made those people keep going to get to their destination?
Absolutely. I noticed that in your own story and the stories of the role models that you look up to, it's all about giving back in some way that benefits others and being a servant for others. And one of the ways that you do that is by speaking on the topic of mental health. And now, if I could just ask a really big question, open-ended question, why is that topic of mental health important to you?
Well, where I grew up at, people was afraid to talk about it. They thought if you say mental health, that sounds bad. We got to keep that a secret. We got to hide this. We're losing so many young people. My family dealt with tragedy, and I'm an advocate to get out here and stand up for mental health, substance abuse, and show people we need to save the people that we love by talking about this, about sharing our stories, about going out here to different places, touching kids, touching grown folks, and saying, you know what, we're not alone. We in this together. Let's figure out how we can attack this disease, because it's a disease, but it's curable with love, with help, with conversation, getting people to the right doctors, the right medicine. And so mental health is destroying families and destroying worlds. But the only way we could fight this back is together. We're stronger together. Let's get out there and fight this. Let's not be afraid to talk about this. Mental health, mental illness, substance abuse. We definitely can fight this together.
Very well said. And I'm glad that you mentioned young people, because I love ending these interviews by asking, what advice do you have for young people beginning their careers? And, I ask that as a young person who's recently began his career.
Yeah.
And you are in a really unique position where you can approach that question from the angle of a creative, a businessman, an entertainer, a father. So answer that question however you'd like.
Yes, so I would say never give up. Put your trust and faith in God, not in people. Be dedicated, be determined, have integrity. Know that long as you got a breath in your life, you got a chance to start over. Don't be afraid to rebuild. Don't be afraid to fail, because that failure is going to get you to the winning season. So salute, keep going, never give up. And there's no limit to your success. If I could do it, you could do it.
Absolutely. All right. That will conclude our conversation with Master P. Percy, I want to thank you again for your time. This has been fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, everybody.